You've probably seen it on a job description or maybe heard it thrown around in a business meeting. SAP. But what on earth is it really? And why is it such a big deal? Well, let's find out.
I mean, just stop and think about that for a second. We're talking about companies with thousands of employees, operations all over the world, handling millions of transactions every single day. How does it not all just, completely fall apart? That is the big question we're tackling today.
And to really get the solution, you've got to understand the problem first. And that problem is what we'll call the disconnected company.
Picture this. The finance department is one little island. Over there, the sales team is on another island. And human resources, they're on a third one, way out in the distance. And here's the kicker. They all have their own maps, their own spreadsheets, their own databases. So when the sales island needs to check if an item is in stock on the warehouse island, they basically have to send a message in a bottle. It is so slow, it's super inefficient, and man, is it easy to make mistakes. That's what we call data silos.
Okay, so how do you build bridges between all those islands? How do you create one single unified country? Well, that is exactly where SAP comes into the picture.
All right, first things first, what does SAP even stand for? Get ready for it. Systems, applications, and products in data processing. Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful, right? That's why pretty much everyone just says SAP. It's the name of this huge German software company, but it's also the name of the software itself, a system designed from the ground up to connect and integrate every single part of a business. And listen, this is no new kid on the block. SAP was founded way back in 1972 by 5 engineers who used to work at IBM. Fast forward to today, and it's basically the global standard for what's called Enterprise Resource Planning, or ERP software. Honestly, you can just think of it as the operating system for big business.
So we know what SAP is, but how does it actually build those bridges between the islands we were just talking about? Let's take a look at how it connects all the dots.
It really all comes down to this one simple, fundamental idea. Every business needs information to flow efficiently. If it doesn't, you get delays, you get bad data, you get chaos. This one single concept is the entire reason SAP exists.
The magic behind all of this is something called Business Process Integration, or BPI. Now, that sounds super technical, but the idea is actually simple. It's about connecting all of a company's different systems so they can talk to each other automatically. No more messages in a bottle. Think of it as their superpower.
And this superpower, this BPI, delivers some massive wins. You get automation of processes so things just happen on their own. You get true integration of all the different systems. You get a totally secure way to share data across the entire company. And you get to automate a ton of boring management and operational tasks. This is how you build those bridges and unite the islands.
This is honestly the best way to think about it. SAP acts like the central nervous system for a company. So the sales department, that's the hand, it touches a hot new lead. That signal instantly travels up the nervous system to the warehouse, the legs, to get ready to move, and to finance, the brain, to process everything. Every part is connected, and everything reacts in real time. It's brilliant. Okay, that's a cool metaphor, but let's make it even more real. How does this system actually work, day to day, in the wild? The way it's all put together is pretty smart. SAP isn't just one giant blob of software. It's actually built out of different modules, which are kind of like specialized apps, each one designed for a specific part of the business. So for instance, there's a module just for financial accounting. There's another one for human resources, one for sales and distribution, and, you guessed it, one for supply chain management. Each one is a total expert in its own area, but the beautiful part is they all speak the same language. So let's just follow a simple customer order to see how this works. Step 1, a customer clicks buy online. The sales module catches that and records the order. Instantly, that triggers step 2. The warehouse module gets an alert to go pack the item. And at the very same time, step 3 happens. The finance module automatically creates an invoice. It's this perfect, seamless, automated chain reaction. All right, let's zoom out for a second. What's the ultimate result of all this integration, all these modules talking to each other? What's the real big picture here? Well, it all comes down to this one single, unbelievably powerful number. 1. One single source of truth for the entire company. Instead of all those disconnected islands, each with their own faulty maps, every single department is now looking at the exact same real-time data. The sales team, the finance team, the CEO in the corner office, everyone is on the same page at the same time. And that right there is an absolute game changer.
So, there you have it. That's SAP in a nutshell, the central nervous system that lets huge, complex companies act as one unified team. And it kind of leaves you with a big question to chew on, right? As our businesses get even more complex, even more data-driven, what's next for the software that runs them all? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.
For more videos, please like, share and subscribe the channel SAP Gyaan.